Hello, hello guys. Hello, Paul. How you doing? Hello, everyone. I see Kitty. Uh, you're here a minute ago. Welcome, everyone. Hello. Let me just remove this banning. How you doing? How is the weekend going? Hello, Gubrick. Hello again. Some people I recognize. Some people. Well, actually, it's quite cold here. I think it's probably like 17 degrees. It's 12 a.m. Well, p.m. Yeah, p.m. So yeah, it's not that hot here in Barcelona. You probably think Barcelona is just beach and just sun, but it's not. It's quite cold here. Where are you joining from? I know some of you are from India, so that's great to see you again here. Group. Oop, yeah, social impact such an important aspect of open source. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. We will see a lot of things today, so get ready, get some chips. In the last technical stream we had, workshop, we didn't had like 10 minutes of rest. So sorry for that because time was just pushing and I wanted to cover some extra stuff. But yeah, today we'll be taking like 5 minutes maybe time so you can go to the bathroom and eat something, whatever. It is 32 degrees. Wow. In India, do you mean? I think you're joining from India. Scribble was so fun. Yeah, thank you. Did you finish the match at the end? Because we were out of time, but I left the window open so you can keep playing. It's 29 degrees here. Okay. Gobri says 30% of the world doesn't have stable internet access. Definitely lack of true openness. Yeah, I think there's some I don't know economic thing there because it will be cool to have like Starlink and all that stuff for free, but probably operating all this kind of infrastructure for the companies, it's not like, oh, you can take it for free. And maybe for some great developers that want to make some great open source projects and they're doing, they cannot just launch satellites, and have internet for everybody. I wish they could, but for the moment, it's not possible. Skiddy said, I won both matches. Well, that's great, man. Let's see for the next one. I'll be doing another one today. Well, it will be like 9 p.m. in Spain. I don't know what time it will be in India. I think it's 4 hours and a half late. Oh, so it'll be midnight for you. So if you can join, definitely come and let's see. Let me just share the screen. We'll be waiting a couple of minutes so people can join. Keep asking questions, and we will get started. So no worries about that. Tintin asks. Okay, Tintin. Hello, Analytics community members and audience. How are you? What is the session plan? What's the project that we're going to build in? Can you tell us more about it? Thanks. Regards. So yeah, we'll be working today. I'll be showing you some open source social impact projects that you can work on. We'll be checking some, and we will be making a real code, um, contributions to a real open source project. I built one, so we can just it's I had some code on it, so I will share the repository. I will explain you all the project, how it works, how you can make changes, how you can do, because it's really important for people that wants to start in an open source project to know how the project works, what's the objective and all that stuff, I'll explain you every part of the code, so you know exactly how it works. So be people that's more beginner and they don't know exactly how to explore new big repositories, they can still make changes on this one. So I just made a project. It works actually. It has real code, real purpose. It's a social impact project, and but I think it's more like beginner friendly, because I can just give you a random open source project like with dozens of thousands of lines of code, but there's some beginner people that cannot make changes because they will not understand the code and they will just quit. So this one, you have no excuse. I will explain you the whole project, every line of code. If you have questions, just throw them. I made it public just now, so you can just fork the project and make changes. Okay. And during today and tomorrow, I want to see some changes on the project, and I want to see some contributions. I will check all the pull requests, everything, every change, and I will accept them, or I will just comment them and say, hey, change this, do this, whatever. Yeah. A bit mother says Twitter isn't even free. Who thinks Starlink will ever be? Yeah, it's not. Well, I think that it has a cost for the companies, and the companies just, not all of them, but most of them is just profit based. So Google says, I wish that Google fee was worldwide and free. Yeah, that would be cool. I think companies like Google can probably open source or maybe make free a lot of their projects. They don't. I don't know what's the reason. I don't want to think that it's just economic, but yeah, it's my project. It's working. I will start explaining you everything, how it works, why it's done, what it's made, and you can just. I did it this way and not give you just a random project because there's some beginners here, and I really wanted to get them introduced to making some changes, and make some changes and help out, because there's some big projects that probably they could not make some changes, basically because they don't have the experience, not because they don't want to, because it's quite difficult to get into big projects, and in a short time period of time. So I really want you to work on this project today or tomorrow, whatever, or the next week, and just make some small contributions. Okay, so let's get started with it. And if for people joining, you can just check the stream later. No problem with that. So it will be all recorded. Okay, so obviously it's been a week. Everyone knows what an open source project is. Everyone has an intuition of what a social impact open project is. So no need to go through all that description again. But basically, our projects, they're meant to solve some social problems or whatever. So I will show you some examples of them. The first one, it's called OpenStreetMap. Okay, as you can see here. Sorry, I have some open windows here. Hello, men and coats. I'm late today. No worries. You're not late. We just got started. But by the way, you can check the stream later, so no worries about that. Okay, so we have this project. Okay, so people will ask, what's this project? It's a map, or what is this? Why it's open source? And why it's a social impact project. So basically, OpenStreetMap is an open source mapping platform that allows users to contribute and access free um, geographic data. And why is this important, and why is this can make a change on a social impact way? It's basically can be used, for example, to support disaster responses, urban planning, and community development. So, because there's a lot of um, map, street map, for example, software, but are from private companies, and probably they cost money or whatever. They charge you if you need all these data, or maybe they have an API, for example, Google Maps. There's another one called here that it's the same as Google Maps API. Well, not the same, but similar. So, but it costs money. As you can see here, the pricing, well, there's probably some free requests, but you have to pay. So, yeah, this one, for example, okay? And if we go to the repo, let me turn the music a little bit down. Okay, let me turn the music down. Probably maybe you cannot hear me. Okay, it's okay now. Can you hear me? Okay, great. Okay, Skitty asks, can you share the link of repo in the chat? Yeah, sure. Oops. Okay, let me share. What I have the repo. Okay, it's this one, Draco. Okay, I will just explain you all this. Oops, I got into my profile. Repo. Let me see. Draco. Okay. Just to give you the link. Okay, this is the link. So if you want to start forking the project, to fork the project into your local machines, you just need to click fork here, and it will just fork it into your profile, and then you can clone it and make changes there. And then when you push it, you actually there was a Git introduction workshop a couple of days ago, I think, and it's well explained there. If someone missed it, just go and check it. Or it's just simple as you get it forked into your profile, you clone it, and then when you make changes and you push the changes into the GitHub, you will see a message here to say, hey, create a pull request, and then you click, you hit create pull request, and I can see them. Okay, so just try it. A couple of you can just try to make a change or something, and just to make sure you all got it right. So I will just check the open pull request. Okay, so I was reading a comment. I thought it was a question, but it's not. So that's great. Okay, before going to the open source project, let's see a couple more. Well, this one, for example, OpenStreet map on GitHub, and you can see a bunch of projects related to this profile. So let's say, for example, this is the website. It's built in Ruby. Probably some of you know Ruby. If not, you can make contributions with JavaScript, C++. There's other programming languages, Perl, SCSS, HTML. There's a bunch of programming language because okay, I have a question here. It says, I would love to update the README, but I know only English. Yeah, no worries. You can update it in English. No worries about that. Make sure it's not in, I don't know, in a language. It will be really cool, for example, to know Chinese, but at this moment, I don't know Chinese, or I would love to learn Indian, but sadly for the moment, I can't read Indian. But yeah, English or Spanish. Or you can use the translate. So no worries about that. Do whatever you want. Just create the pull request with a comment, and I will check it. Okay. So for example, this one. Okay. So the project that I showed you before. Actually, it's really cool. This one, I've used it for personally for some projects, and it's really cool. It's not, as you can see, it charges really quick. You know, if you go to maps, to the Google Maps, for example. Well, it's good, but do you see? It's like more data intensive because it has restaurants, hotels, things to do. It has a lot of data, and this one is just for, for locations, addresses. Already has some restaurants, but you cannot see like a lot of data. If you click Five Guys, in this case, for example, you cannot see the menu and the comments, reviews, or whatever. Okay. Um, let me see the comments. I want to make sure everyone is on the same page, so we can just keep going. I don't want people to get lost. I would love. Mm-mm. Yeah, no. The the link I shared is for the project I was mentioning before, the one I created. I will just explain it in a couple of minutes how it works and all that stuff. So that's the reason, because I wanted to make sure that everyone can make some contributions to a project, and I made it like more friendly, beginner friendly. So I will just explain the whole project in some minutes. I will explain all the projects, every function, how they work, how they are connected, so you can really create some changes. Okay, I don't want to give you like an open source um, social impact project and with like 25,000 lines of code and say, hey, make contributions, because a lot of beginners will get lost. So I prefer to make it with a project that I built, especially. I had it. It was built. Well, I created. It was meant for another workshop, but okay. At the end, I just switched it, so it will be okay. Um, let me see. Uh, yeah, that would be overwhelming. Yeah, I think you mean the 30K lines of code, but yeah. Okay, so we got this. You can check it if you want. I just want to show you some examples of open source real projects that really help on a social impact way. So Kiwix, what's Kiwix? It's basically an open source offline Wikipedia reader that enables access to educational content in areas with limited internet connectivity. Someone mentioned in the chat, for example, before, that a lot of regions, I think like 30% of the world's population don't have access to stable internet. So this one, for example, it's an amazing one because it's like a offline Wikipedia, basically. Let me check. So yeah, you can download it and have access to thousands and millions of articles for students. Let's say, for example, um, I don't know, which regions from which regions do you think, like for example, don't have internet access? Maybe South South Africa, maybe South Africa. I've been in some countries in South Africa, and the internet connection is let me see. Okay, yeah, Senegal. For example, I've been in Senegal with a friend of mine because he lives there. Uh, Someone said Iran. Yeah, for example, for at least in my experience, and the internet connection is really bad. And there's some schools like maybe here. I don't know, just saying, for example, maybe you can find a school here, and there's no antennas, no Wi-Fi, nothing. So it's impossible to work with Wikipedia. It's a great tool, but it's not the best one. So here we have the this project that has for example 100 languages supported. It's a great tool, and it's something open source that you can still make changes on it. There's some different versions, as you see. There's the JavaScript desktop, the Android, the Apple, Quix, Kiwix tools. This, for example, is in C++. Anyone does code in C++, for example? Uh, no? Does anyone use C++ to code? Not me. Yeah, me neither. Uh, I use C Sharp, .NET, but not C++. Well, you can make changes with the Python. There's probably the Android app. It's made in Python. So, sorry, in Python in this case. Probably maybe there's another project that it's made in Java. Just C for now. Okay, C it's good. I think you can switch easily C and C++. So no problem with that. Team JavaScript. Okay, that's cool. Okay, just another example. Okay, so keep in mind that here you have this one. Another tool is an offline Wikipedia that helps probably like hundreds of schools, thousands and thousands of students to have information to be able to learn without internet connection, maybe in their homes, in the mountain, or in Peru, for example. There's a lot of people that live in mountains that there's no internet access, and it's a great tool. Um, it can be used in Europe. Well, you can use it, but probably it's harder to find maybe a country or city without stable internet connection in Europe, or maybe in some countries in Asia. But it's a good tool. Okay, so keep in mind. And then we have this one. Okay, so Sahana event project, it's called. So basically, it's an open source disaster management system that facilitates coordination and collaboration among response teams during emergencies. So it's probably a really good social impact example open source project. As you can see, for example, in this case, the first thing I see is the website. Okay, so some people can say, "Oh, it's a little bit old," or the design can be changed and all that stuff. So here's the opportunity for you. Here's the project. It's called Eden. You just the profile is Sahana. Eden. There's some other project, and here you can find the documentation. Um, so yeah, there's some contributors. You have Python code, JavaScript, SCSS, HTML, CSS, and other. This other probably maybe it's YAML, YAML configuration, maybe files or something like that. So I think. So yeah, there's 552 forks, a lot of stars. People keep making changes on it. If you go to pull requests, for example, okay. Omar asked, "Why are so many people in here?" I don't know. That's good. I think it's good to see people learning. So that's cool. Okay, for example, pull requests. Let's see. I already explained this in my last technical workshop. That was the open source showcase project and all that stuff. Probably you've seen it in other streams. Basically, the pull requests. Just a quick recap. It's requests for code changes. So people that wants to get some things changed and say, okay, I want to submit this change into the main branch. This one, for example, it's 2018 change. Probably it was okay. So this basically that means that someone said, okay, I want to request some changes, and probably the author of the commit didn't solve that problems, and the maintainer just didn't accept it because there was something wrong. So, for example, let's see. Sligrin just explains what he or she, I don't know the gender, but Sligrin did. And here you have, for example, okay, Node 6 probably it's a maintainer or a member. Okay, so it's a member of Sahana Software Foundation. The message should be shown on the client side. No, the server is normal. There's no user there. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so the change was not that cool. So they requested changes. They didn't solve them, so it's not committed. This one, for example, pulling for sync update. Here in file changed, you can see all the changes they made. Probably the maintainers didn't feel that this was a good update, so they just ignored it. Or maybe they're still checking it. This is from 2015. Probably this is not the most updated open source project, as you can see, but okay, it's a project. Okay, this one is quite interesting. Okay, it's called Nextcloud, and it's basically an open source cloud storage and collaboration platform that emphasizes a lot of privacy and data, protection, empowering individuals and organizations to control their own data. Okay, this one, for example, it's really, in my opinion, I really like it because it's like Dropbox or something. Yeah, actually, the design is quite like Dropbox. Did you use Dropbox? Probably you've seen. I don't know. Probably you've seen it before. This logo, probably. Now they're changing the design a little bit, but it's something like Dropbox, but open source. Why this is important for social impact? Nowadays, there's a lot of companies, a lot of hackers, but not white hat hackers, like black hat hackers. They call it, like people that steal information, that make exploits, try to get information from people, try to do a lot of bad stuff. I know you're not one of these hackers, you're the white hat ones, but there's some bad hackers that just want to damage people and steal information. And probably this platform for people that have appreciate data that don't want to share with private companies, because we all know how private companies work with data. A lot of them, not every company, but a lot of them don't do like a really ethical work with the data they have. But okay, it's okay. So they have their politics, they have their agreements, contract that you accept when you sign up. So it's okay because you accept it. A lot of people don't read these documents, but it's okay. You should. But yeah, this is a really cool project, and here you can see the Nextcloud. It's top languages: JavaScript, PHP, Shell, Python, Java. This one, I thought it was interesting because a lot of hackers, a lot of students I know there's a lot of students here, a lot of people that work in some, I don't know, go to hackathons and all that stuff, and you probably use technologies like JavaScript, Python in college, or there's some people that studying data analysis and that kind of technologies. So that's okay. So yeah, that's for, I think it's the languages. You can make some good contributions. First of all, recommend you to use the platform first. Check the platform. In a couple of minutes, we'll get into how to find the right project, and then we will get into the real project. Okay, I just want to make to give you an overview of how to choose the project, how to choose the technologies. If there's a really good project that you really love and you don't know, for example, the JavaScript, it's easy to learn any programming language now. You just type learn, I don't know, JavaScript, for example. As you can see, there's 3.2 billion results in half a second. So come on, you can learn anything nowadays. So it's easy, and you have no excuse to work on every project that you want. So just give it a shot. If you don't like it or you don't feel that you like it, just leave the project and work on another one. Okay. So let's see. This is the server project. Okay. It's made in PHP in this case. And a safe home for all your data. Okay. That's a good point. And here you can see that the core programming language, it's PHP, 60.9%. So that means that for people that know PHP or wants to learn PHP, it's a really good project, or JavaScript. Because you can see 33%, and it may not seem a lot for you, but if you click it, the programming language, you can see all the files that are made with this one, and you can see 2K. Okay, no, 2K. I think it's not it's the the lines of code probably. It's not the number of pages, but it's a lot of ways to make some changes. For example, no, let's see. This is probably just some registers here, but yeah, you get the idea. In this case, so yeah, which one did you like the most from these ones? There's a bunch. Okay, now we will just get into how to find one. Okay, for example, this is a simple pull request that I made before. Let's see. For example, let's see you want to work on this project. Okay, I will just show you a quick example on how to fork the project that I sent you. You click fork. Okay, in this case, I already have one. I can go to my fork. In this case, it's in my profile. Okay, it's not mine. It's just a fork. Keep in mind, because there's when you go to your profile or anyone's profile, you can see repositories, but not all of these repositories are mine. Okay, most of them are, but if you go here and you type forks, you can see 5 results. For example, I have from the 78 projects, I have 5 projects that are just forked. They are not mine, and the other 73 are mine. So yeah, keep in mind that. Okay, so let's go to private. I have a lot of private projects. For example, if you have curiosity and want to know, okay, you can see this one. For example, is a stock trading. It's not complete because it was changed to another one, so this must be deleted. So in this case, we can just delete it because I had it here for a while. And so you can see when you want to delete a project, just go here. Oops, it's starting. Okay. Delete repo. Delete. Yeah, I understand. Okay. You just click here. Stock. Drag cobots. Okay, delete. Done. Okay, so once I just fork the repo, and then if we go here, pull requests, I never used Golang before. Okay, no worries. I will just show you the code and you will just get it immediately. It's really simple. It looks like something like Python or similar. But yeah, you can make changes even if you don't know the language. You can make changes on other languages. You can add some extra functionalities in another language maybe, and then know how to implement it into the real project. We'll get into that. So okay, so I just opened this pull request. As you can see, for example, this project doesn't have so much because it's been quite 6 years since the last change, so it's not active. It was just to show you. So pull request, and I added this pull request. I said edit go.mod go sum and vendor folder to the git ignore. Basically, what it means that when you have the git ignore, basically probably most of you know what it is. Basically, you just when you have a project and you add some files or folders in the git ignore, that files git ignore them so they don't get into GitHub or Gitbucket or GitLab or whatever. So these 3 files, the vendor one is for dependencies, and these two are for dependencies too. When you run go mode, or I will show you now so you can understand it better. Basically, what it does, it downloads all the dependencies and all the files you need to run the project, so that files should not upload to GitHub. So yeah, basic one. So once they review the changes, they can just submit a review. Everyone can do that. And once they merge them, I cannot merge the project, as you can see here. Only those with write access to this repository can merge per request, so I cannot merge it. That's okay. It's not a big change. It was just an example to show you how to fork and make changes. So yeah, this one's done. Okay, this one, it's an old project, so it doesn't make sense. So let's see if someone forked the project. I see no one forked it, so try to fork it, and we'll get into that. Any question? If you have any question, just put it here. No one has any question? Forked, let's see. Someone, okay, yeah, as you can see here now, it says forked. So if, for example, Skiddy makes a change on the README or something, and opens up, pushes the changes and opens a pull request. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can I drink? I'm sorry. Something got stuck. Okay. I'm sorry for that, folks. Okay. So let's say you don't want to work on my project in this one. Again, I will just explain everything how it works. Now we have time. We have an hour left, so can you share the link of this repo? Okay, yeah, I've shared it before, so probably I will share it again. So it's this one. Draco L Logistics. Okay, now you will understand the name and everything. Okay, another thing I wanted to tell you. What does Draco EU Logistics means? Okay, Draco basically it was a name that I like. I don't know why. It's like Nebula. Nebula. It's a name. Sorry. I really like, and it's a constellation basically. Nebula. But yeah, it's just a name. And logistics, you'll learn that because it's basically a ride sharing parcel thing. So, for example, let's say you have a package that you want to take to I don't know, from Spain to Italy, for example, and you need someone to take it. It will be like an Uber, but for packages. So people can just go there, take a package, and say, "Hey, I don't know." For example, let's say I want to send like 3 packages of 300 kilos, for example. So yeah, let's say I want to send like 300 kilos of packages, okay, to Italy, and I can just post them on the platform, and there's some riders, I don't know, like truck riders or whatever, that they're doing this route, and they just want to make this package to get into the destination, and they can take the packages. They're going anyway to Italy, so they're not doing an extra trip. It's just the trip they taken, and the package, you can just, I don't know, they get paid for the packages they transport it. And that's and probably you will think why this is a social impact thing, like a project, because it's just a ride sharing package system. So that's what it comes the environment and the waste of gas that it spends. There's a lot of trucks that have packages that are going. Let's say I have a truck, okay, and my company sends me to Germany to take like 300. I don't know, 2 tons, like 2,000 kilos to Germany. Okay, so I take the 2,000. So the truck consumes gas, obviously, and with all the pollution, because a lot of trucks know that, like, there's I think there's this Tesla trucks and all that stuff that they're electric, but for the moment there's no trucks that. When I say truck, I mean like 23-ton truck, okay, like a trailer, not a smaller one, and they consume a lot of gas. So let's say I just take all these 23 tons from Spain to Germany, and then I download all the packages and everything, all the they call it pallets. You know, pallet. It's these ones. Probably you've seen them a lot. So this is just like a standard of a transport. You know, inbox, let's say it. So yeah, I just don't. Okay, yeah, the base. Thank you, Skiddy. So you download all the packages, all the 23 tones or whatever, and then you have to come back to Spain, and you don't have any charges because your company just says, okay, just download the 23 tones and come back. Okay, so with this system, what you do is just optimize the routings and how to, like, let's say there's another company that has some packages that needs to come to Spain, and they don't want to send the driver from Spain to Germany. So the same driver can make a route trip, full charge, and the other with just one driver and one truck instead of two. Okay, so it's basically like an environmental project to optimize how trucks transport packages, pallets, bases with a lot of charges and everything. And it will be like, okay, I need this package to come from here and go here. Okay, I'll explain it in more in detail in a moment. We'll get into how to find, if you don't like, for example, this project and you want to work on another one, how to find one. Okay, so I'm in GitHub. Let's charge this again. Okay, so we have 5 forks. Okay, that's great. So if I go to Insights, optimization transport for fuel and emissions is so important. Saves a lot of some money. Yeah. It does. That's for sure. Because there's a lot of trucks. I have family that works on trucks, for example, and they have this problem a lot because they have to go, for example, from Barcelona to Madrid. It's like 600 kilometers. I don't know how much miles, like 400 miles, probably. I don't know, 300. Well, yeah, like 400 miles or something, and just they come empty. So and there's a lot of companies that send packages from Madrid to Barcelona, and they go back empty. So it's like 2 trips that can be made just with one, with right platform, with a good communication and a good road system and optimization. Okay, let's see if I go through traffic. Okay, come here. Forks, okay. Oh, okay, because I needed. Yeah, that empty truck can be utilized. Yeah, that's for sure. So this is basically the project. I have some code as the people who worked it can see. So yeah. Let me just check this. Okay. So how you find a good project? Let's say, just tell me. An online logistics software to optimize goods items for more efficient would be invaluable. Yeah. Okay, I will just get into that in just a moment if you give me a moment. So I just want to finish this part, and then we will get fully into the code if you feel okay. Okay, thank you so much. So yeah. I think the problem here is not the. I think here the problem is um companies are not like there's not a network that connects companies like transport companies. They're like independent, and every company does the trips they want, the trucks they want, everywhere they want, and they're not helping. Just getting into a, I don't know, a meeting and saying, okay, this is the routes that I make, this is the routes that I don't make, this is the charges that I take, this is you know they can say, okay, you can take my charges and then I can take your charges for this, and you can split costs. You have less maintenance, less fuel consumption, less trucks in the road, less traffic, uh, a bunch of things. There's a highway here in Spain where I live. It's called A7. If you search A7, A7, it's a really big highway that goes to France and then to uh, up to the North Europe, and it's full, full, full of trucks like every day because there's a college, um, and the highway just it's full every day, like every day, every hour. So that's a problem, and it's a really huge highway, so it's not a small one. Okay, so how to find a good project? Here in GitHub, you can see the Explore. Okay, probably you've seen them. Explore. It can be an social impact project, or I don't know. Let's say you really like games, or I don't know, want to work on a game engine or whatever. You go here. For example, in this case, I have some stars: machine learning, Swift, Kotlin, and Go. If you go to topics here in GitHub, you can see a bunch. Let's say Sketch. Okay. Does anyone know Sketch? It's like a Figma or something like that, like to make some UI designs, logos probably, and all that stuff. And here you can see a lot of probably these ones. Yeah, it's like Figma. Yeah, yeah. So probably these are like plugins or some kind of integrations with Sketch. So you can work on them. A lot of them are in JavaScript, as you can see. There's some Go ones. Let's say you like this one. Okay, this one, for example, is like HTML to SketchUp. Okay, so probably you're allowed to take, I don't know, any HTML page and turn it into a design and then modify it to take the code or something. I don't know, probably it's something like that. So let's say you want to topics, let's say, I don't know, API. Okay, let's see if there's any good API. Fast API. Do you know Fast API? A lot of people use it. Hi, Strappy. Design APIs fast, manage content easily. Okay, let's say this one. Okay, so first of all, let's say we want to work on this project. Okay, we're enthusiasts and we're really, really excited to work on an open source project. So we get into this one. Okay, and say, okay, I like this. Here we can see the README. Everyone probably knows what a README is. If you have some GitHub basics. If not, there's no problem with that. I will just explain it a little bit. Basically, it's a README. Let's say it's an introduction file to say, okay, this is the project, this is what it does, how to install it. For example, there's someone who told me just, okay, Skiddy just asked, I cloned it now, how to set up it locally. Okay, so that's my fault because I should just put here like all the instructions, how to install it, how to use it, what to install to be able to use it. Because for example, if I weren't on the stream and Skiddy didn't know me and he wanted to work in this project magically because I know he saw something that he loved. There's nothing to see, but let's say he really wanted to work on it. He just couldn't work on it because there's no installation. He just fork it, clone it, and there's nothing. It will just be this file, and that's it. You know, not the best way to do it. So, thanks you asked. I will just explain it, in a while. Um, okay, so we have a question here from Seaman. Do you have any open source project suggestions regarding Swift UI? Personally, I've never used Swift UI, but we can see if we can find something here. Okay. Um, do you mean like Swift UI? Mm, okay, so in that case, you can just come here, explore. Okay, and in topics, probably you'll see Swift UI. Let's see if we can find Swift UI. Swift UI. Okay, example project using not this Swift UI framework, learning and usage guides, collaboration list of awesome. Okay, these are some resources, good ones. Chart view. Probably you're looking for something like this, like projects to work on related to. Here you can probably you just choose Swift, and here you can find like more than 100 pages with a lot of projects with descriptions. Uh, Probably you should order them like for must starts, just to get some um, good reviewed projects, or I don't know, must works, or I don't know, recent updated, because here you can discard like old and not maintained projects, so that's really important. So okay, let's get into this one. Okay, so the most important thing, the README, is basically an introduction. Okay, an introduction on how to use it, as I mentioned, and this is really important because this is the first thing you see on the project. Because there's a saying that is like there's no second time for first impression. Okay, that works with everything, with persons, projects, with a job interview. For example, you go into a job interview, and the recruiter or the CEO or the CTO or the person who's interviewing you, sorry, just ask some dumb question like, I don't know, any racist or I don't know, just messed up question. What probably the rest of the company is not the same, but just the first impression just gives you the sense of, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in the company that's racist or that makes this kind of comments or questions. So that's really important. So the README is the first impression that we have from let me see. Okay, um, from a project. Okay, in this case, okay, let's say we want to work on this one. Same. We fork the project here. Okay, just this is just an example. We're not going to work on this one, but it looks cool. Okay, fork, and then we will see this. Copy the main branch only. Yeah, I will definitely just copy the main branch. You can deselect this, and it will just copy all the branches. If you go, what are the branches? Okay, for the people who just didn't got the introduction, this is the branches. Okay, though, so everyone who once created a branch to make changes or to work on it, they didn't delete the branch, so it's still the branch here, and you can just go to this branch. For example, you can see 4 commits ahead, 1 commit behind. There's inconsistencies. So in my opinion, the questions Kitty asks, we should copy the main branch only, right? Yeah, in my opinion, if you're just getting started, you don't want to get like 200 random branches with a lot of duplicated changes and all that stuff. In my opinion, I would just copy the main branch. If you're more a beginner, intermediate, if you're more advanced and expert, and you want to check all the branches and the changes all the people made and all that stuff, there's a tool called Tree Source. Probably you know it. Tree Source. It's a really good one. I use it. It's basically Git GUI, and you have like this history with all the branches, all the merges, all the separate changes. It's well, GitHub actually does the same. I think it's GitHub desktop. You can install it. It's really useful if you're okay. It's but desktop you get just the changes, and you can see other. You don't see like this roadmap, let's say. Okay, but yeah, with GitHub desktop you get something like this, and if you want more something like this with a bunch of more information, use source tree. It's free. I, yeah, it's free. There's no paying version, I think. Well, I have the installed since like 3 years ago, and I never paid, so probably it's free. Okay, we'll get into this soon. Fork. Okay, so we have the project description. Okay, we'll just keep the same description. Create fork. Okay, so that's it. Forking the project, it should only take a few seconds. That's what GitHub says. Um, GitHub desktop is boring. Well, it's not boring, but if you are more into comments, it's just easier to put git status or whatever, and you just see the changes instead of just going to another application and getting from there. But it's not boring. There's well, it depends on what you consider boring, but in my opinion, it just fine for people that just want more visual, to see more visually the changes and all that stuff. So yeah. Okay, now we have it forked in my public repo. And here, as you saw before, or the people who just forked my project, uh, okay, here we have team CLI. So once you got it forked, you just copy the the cloning SSH or HTTP or whatever you want to use, or just download the whole project into a zip, and then you start making changes. When you make a change, you just commit, push, and then you open the request, and they can. When I say they, I'm referring to the maintainers of the original project. Okay, probably there's a bunch. As you can see, there's like nearly 1,000 contributors. That's a lot of people working. Well, if they working on the project, but as you can see, there's 150 pull requests. This is a lot. So type admin controller. Let's see this one. What does it do? Add types for the admin controller. Okay, so here we can see some comments from maintainers probably, or other contributor. Okay, so it's another contributor. This is interesting, good idea to extend it like that. I wonder if we should blah 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 blah. And there's some. This is why open source is good and why I like it. You get into relationship with people, to just work on stuff together, and you just, for example, these tests. It's important to create tests. You need testing and all that stuff. I made a stream, I think, in the last hack week, no, the two last hack week, global hack week. Sorry, that was about unit testing. You should probably check that if you're new into testing. But it's an important thing, because if you make a big changes and you want to make sure that everything's connected, works, definitely integration tests and unit testing. If you are not allowed into testing, check it out. Probably once you get a job, it will be a must. Once you get into the company, or before, or in the interview or whatever, they will ask. Well, if they have testing, like 90%. It's a random statistic, but in my opinion, I think 90% of companies now implement testing, because it's really important. Okay, although using CLI for everything is much more boring and challenging, but that makes you a bulletproof developer. Yeah, that's for sure. that's for sure. Well, it depends too in the preferences, because there's some people that um, I don't know. Maybe if you get into a server and you just have, or I don't know, if your Windows laptop or Mac laptop just got blocked and you just have the, the command line and you need to fix it. Probably you need some skills there. Uh, let's see. Well, using VS Code or code spaces is better. Yeah. VS Code. Yeah. The good thing, in my opinion, I personally use VS Code. Is the extensions that you have and the plugins and all that stuff that you can install. Just for example, I don't know. There's some basic ones like a PDF reader that you can just open PDFs on the Visual Code. It looks like a dumb thing, but sometimes it's really useful. Or open images or formatting a JSON. You just get a messy JSON and you want just to get it formatted with the colors and all that stuff. They're like tiny dumb things, but really important because it's not the same to read a well formatted JSON than just 2,000 lines of messy JSON. So yeah. Okay, so here we go. What's the project? How it works? Okay. So basically, as I mentioned before, here we have a box. Okay. So let's say we are. Can you see the screen, or should I make it bigger a little bit? Oops. Should I make it bigger, or it's fine for you? I need some feedback there, because I see it well, but I don't know if you can see it correctly. So I want you to just contemplate my drawing skills. Okay, so you have a box. Okay, let's say you are a company called A. Okay, it starts with A. Looks good. Yes, we can. That's sure. Okay, great. Thank you. So we are a company that delivers packages called A. Okay, I'll not say the name, but we all know what company it is. So, and we have another company that has a package. Okay, let's say this company, it's called, it starts with A and L. Okay, we all know what company it is, but I'm not saying the company. Okay, so we have these two companies. Okay, and this one has this package. Let's say just a package, because we don't want to make it really confusing, like 3 pallets and all that stuff. But let's say we have this package that weighs 2 tons, and this one weights 2 tons. Okay, 2 tons, it's like 2,000 kilos, something like that. And we need to go from Barcelona. I just use BCN. This one should go to from BCN to let's say this one goes to Germany. Okay, and the other one Germany, and this one goes to France. To France. Okay. 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 So here's the thing. Let's say we have another package. Okay, that goes to Switzerland. Okay, BCN from company BC that goes to Switzerland. Switzerland. I'm not saying the city because basically I don't. India. Okay, let's say India. This, well, in this case, we cannot say India because it will be a road trip, um, truck trip. So going from Barcelona to India with a truck and then go back to Germany, it's quite. But yeah, we can make another example with some Indian cities, so you can you're more familiar with it. No worries. So thank you for the suggestion. Switzerland. Yeah, I know it's connected, but in this case, it's like I don't know, probably like 7,000, 10,000 kilometers, you know, and it's not optimal to go from Barcelona to India and then go back to Germany because you'll be spending like more fuel. And this is for more to optimize more road trips, truck road trips from near cities, you know, that don't need like three trucks. So let's say in this case, for example, we have two tones too. Okay, so this company sends a truck to Switzerland and spends uh, I don't know, probably maybe 2,000 euros. Okay, 2,000 euros for the road trip, like the the return. Not this one. Okay, Germany, 2,000 euros too, and this one spends 2,500. Okay, let's say, because I don't know, just for a reason. Okay, so in this case, the companies will send separate trucks. Okay, in this case, they will send a truck that costs this to operate. This price includes the tolls, the work, what the labor, the tolls, and the fuel. Okay, so it just includes everything. Okay, so we have this truck with a driver, a happy driver. Well, it's not happy. He's sad because it's Sunday and he needs to go from Barcelona to France. And okay, it's his birthday. He's sad. Okay, and here we have another one. Um, we have another one. She's a girl, and she's happy. She's happy because she doesn't have to go to her uh, cousin birthday. Okay, so they have the trucks. They need to go. This is the cost. But let's say this truck has the capacity to take 7 tons. Okay, 7 tons. That doesn't mean that they have to be completed because maybe these 2 tons are priority packages that needs to get delivered before X date. You know, and if you're a company and you have the compromise to deliver like uh, these 2 tons in one day, 24 hours, and you need to go because you have like 12 hours left. You cannot wait like 2 more days to get um, more charge because you will be probably losing more money waiting because the confidence of the client will just go down because they will never send again a priority package with you because you promise to deliver it in 24 hours and you just deliver it in, I don't know, maybe 54 hours. So that's not good. You will be losing money. You will be losing clients. So this package needs to go yes or yes. And the only truck you have available, because the other ones are in the mechanic or in maintenance, it's this one. So it weighs, it has the capacity to for 7 tons. And the fuel, actually, the charge, obviously, it has a relation with the fuel because more charge, more fuel. But there's a constant. Okay, I think you, as I think you missed a chat. But okay. Blaja go spin. Okay. Um, okay, so you have this capacity. So why there's not a platform that you can just get this 2 ton charge from company A, this 2 ton from company AL, and this 2 ton from company, let's say BC. Okay, so this in it's 6 ton actually. Okay, so the truck has the capacity to take all these charges, this one, and this one. So what we can do is just take one truck, a 7 ton truck, 7 ton. You know, just put the package, the three packages. I'm just saying a package, but it's more like I don't know, palette or whatever you need. So okay, this one is bigger. This one is the BC package. This one is the AL. Sorry for the drawings. It's just with the mouse, so it's quite okay. So we have the truck, and instead of like 6,500 euros, because this is a lot, six 6,500 euros. It will just cost I don't know, because there's some, as I said, there's constant. Okay, just let me write this constant costs. Okay, in this case we have the fuel, we have tolls. Oh no, sorry, the fuel is not constant. Okay, in this case the tolls, they are uh oh, okay, okay. I didn't know it was an emoji. Sorry for that. Thank you. um okay, so we have constant costs. This is the most important thing, because the variable costs, now you will see why. So we have the tolls, they're constant. And then we have, let's say, the driver. Okay, the driver, that includes the fee or the salary, let's say salary, um, the food, I don't know, etc. So we have this um, truck. No, okay. So the truck is not constant, because if you have more weight, probably the tires, maybe they're more they will just get worse. And then we have no, oh, let's say variable costs, and this will be the fuel, because the weight will be different. We have the maintenance maintenance, because the tires, for example, will be more, um, there will be more spent, let's say, because it's more weight, so maybe they're more in contact with the road, and you know, they're worse. But tires, it's not a big expense, etc. Okay, so, and now we have three packages. Okay, the first one is two tones. Okay, let's just draw it because it will be simpler to understand. So we have this truck that, well, with separate trucks, it will cost 6,500, but now it doesn't cost 6,500, because we have probably the salary. Let's say it will be a trip from Barcelona, and then it will go probably to France. Oh, sorry, to France. Yeah, France or Switzerland, depends on which part of France. France, and then it will go to Switzerland, and then to Germany. Okay, so the thing here is, we are not spending, first of all, 6,500, and when the truck is back, in this case, if you do it separately, in this case, probably this company doesn't have packages in France that needs to come, so they will be just losing money, because it will be less toll, fuel, salary, etc. So it will be negative, let's say, 600. Okay, this will be the cost of getting the truck back, because they don't have charges, they don't have contacts with other companies that need to get things back. Let's say this company just can get back like 200 euros in profit, because they managed to get like, I don't know, 600 kilos back for some distributors or whatever. And this company is making minus 300, because maybe they got some charge, but it's not for to pay everything. So you have this company that it's this route, it's more optimized, and then on the way back, so you can take all these different charges, with one truck, this truck, and it's less cost. So we have instead of 6,500, let's say the salary it's 200. Okay, let's say it's a couple of days, and it's 200 because I don't know, whatever. So it's 2 days of work because they have to go and come back or whatever. And let's say the toll is 200 too. Okay, the toll, I think it's called toll. Basically, the when you pay the highway or whatever. I know what it's called in other countries, but I think it's called toll. Okay, here it's called peaje in Spain. Okay, so we have, okay, yeah, it's toll. Okay, thank you, Skiddy. So you have 200 of salary, 200 of toll, and then let's say gas. Let's say you have okay, so the gas is variable. Okay, the fuel, because you have more packages. But let's say instead of, I don't know, you just spend 1,500 in gas. It's a lot. I don't think it costs this much, but let's say 1,500, and then yeah, that's it. So you have, well, obviously there's more, I don't know, tax thing, or I don't know, when you, I don't know, like importing, import tax or export tax or whatever. That's a completely different story because that goes into the product, not the package. But yeah, let's say this is the cost. So we have 1,500, 1,7 and 1,9. Okay, so this will cost you around 1,900 the trip. It's just numbers, okay? It's not real. So this is not the same than 6,500, as you can see. And this cost will be between the three distributors, the three companies, because it's 222. Let's say this one, for example, has 3 tons. They will pay more, but okay, let's say it's the same. So it's 1,900 between three, and that's like 633 euros. Okay, so this is the importance of a ride-sharing package management system, or however you wanted to call it. So you have a trip that at the beginning costed like 2,000 or 2,500, that now costs 600. You have less drivers that needs to go, so that's less payment that go, everything goes into here. You have less traffic, you have less truck maintenance. It's just truck sharing. I don't think there's any company that does that. I know there's companies that are like charging uh, websites that you can take charges and all that stuff. But I don't know if there's any company that optimizes. Probably there is. Everything exists now, but yeah, you get the difference, right? At least in Spain, there's I don't know any big company that does it. So yeah, but there's other companies. There's one called Eltrans or something. Let's say Bus de Carras. It's called here, Cargopedia. Okay, this one, for example, and here you can see companies or whatever that they publish charges, like from here to Romania, from Spain to Romania, it's 2,200 kilometers, 0.4 tons, 400 kilos or whatever. This one is 3 tons. This one is 1.3 tons, whatever. So yeah, but the difference here is that you need personally, well, the company needs to come here, see, let's say, filtered by their city. They need to go directly here. Okay, so in this case, this system will be more automatically, so it will just get all the different commands, the deadline dates and all that stuff, and it will just say, okay, all these three packages can just go into one route with one truck. So anyone wants to take this charge, so a person can say, okay, I want to take this charge, for example, and get paid like, I don't know, this maybe this 200 is the salary, but if the truck is yours, you can charge the whole price and just take care of everything. Okay, so let's say you but yeah, 200 euros for a couple of days of work, it's not that bad. And sending 2 tons for 600 euros instead of 2000, it's not bad at all. The pollution is less. You don't have that much pollution, you don't have that much traffic, you don't have that much maintenance. And with maintenance, I mean, like, there's a lot of parts that we don't take into account, but getting one truck instead of three, you have less tire waste. So tire is I don't know what it's called in English, but yeah, the material, it's a really intensive pollution material. You have the oil of the car. It's really pollution intense material too. You have the maintenance of the car, the pieces, all the plastic. Maybe you have more probability to have an accident if you have three trucks than one. So there's, more accident risk, everything. So yeah, it's advantages. So the project, let's go into the project and I will explain you the parts of the project. Okay. So let me share. Did you understand everything, or there's any part missing? Did you miss any part? Need more explanation in some part? I will just. So please, if anyone got lost or something, can you please tell me? Did you understand the mechanism of the project? I think we're good to go. Okay, great. Okay, if anyone has any question, just let's dive in the project. Great. Okay, so I will stop sharing the screen to present another one. Let me see. Stop screen, present, share screen. Okay, let's go to the project. It's this one. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think it's quite small for you. Can you read correctly? Let's just click clear here. Can you see the everything? Can you read the code correctly? Okay, so first of all, how to install it. The schema is good. Establish the logic and how to implement it with tech. Okay, great. Increase the font a little bit more. This is okay. This is let me see. This is okay. This is okay. Can you please confirm? Okay, this is not. Let me just. Okay, I think this is okay. Is this okay? Yeah, it's better. Thank you. Thank you. You. Thanks to you guys. Okay, so here's the project. I'll explain you the different parts. Here, as you can see, let me just close all this because I will just go through each one of them. Okay, so how to install it. Okay, so the first thing you do once you get the project, you need to go to have Golang installed. Okay, Golang, you just install Go, and once you got it installed, you just hit Go under this /v, and you will get the version. Okay, like every program. So you install Go, and then once you have Go installed, you just click Go mode in it, and this will create a Go mode file. This is the file I told you before, where you have all the dependencies. You have here, for example, I'm using this library, Go SQL driver, to register things in the database and all that stuff. So here you have the dependencies. Once you click Go mode in it, it will initiate the mode file with the dependencies. Go and that's it. So it's that easy. So and then go mode tidy. It will just update the dependencies and all that stuff. So we have, this is meant to be an API, for example, because you will have the the backend with the API and the front end. So in the API, we will just register all the orders, all the packages, all the routes, everything. And from the front end, we will just get all the information and just make the matches for the trucks, the drivers, and all that stuff. So it's good to have it separate because having like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Golang, the server side, the front. So okay, so if you have any questions, just ask. I will get into that soon. Let me just check. Okay, so how this works, the API. First of all, we have the authorization, okay? This file is now empty, but this will just work to, I don't know, to get the token, for example, for the API client, maybe make some logistics for the login, the sign up system, the Google integration to sign up with Google, with Facebook, everything. So this is the authorization system. Now there's no code because it's not published. There's no authorization yet. So okay, in the config, okay, I will not go into it because there's some API keys. But imagine it's just, well, I can go because you already have it. So yeah. So here you have the database connection. This is the local host one. So I will show you later how to create this database account. Okay, yeah. I cannot delete the message, Skiddy, but yeah, I will report it after this because I don't have the option to delete the message. But okay, no worries. Just don't take it into account. That's it. Okay, so here maps API key. This is the API key for the API I showed you before for the maps. This will be basically to get the routes. Okay, we will need to use a geolocation system to get all the routes and all that stuff. Okay, so this is the connection. Okay, you can create a database. We have some files here. I will show you right now to create all the tables and all that stuff. So don't worry about that. So here we have some configuration methods, constants, or whatever you need, some functions to make some configuration or something. That's okay. So the database, I will just leave the database for later because I want to show you the scheme of the tables and how the connections are made. So no worries about that. Distributor, basically, it's a simple structure for the distributor, the person who wants to send the packages. Okay, in this case, I call them companies, but this is the distributor because this is the not the person, the company. Oh, sorry, I was not sharing. Okay, because I'm just sharing the window. But yeah, the schema I showed you before. The company I told you, that's the distributor, the person who needs to send the package. Okay, because they're just distributing the package. Document, this is a simple structure for the documents because for example in this case to get to be able to verify a driver, in this case you need some documents like the ID, the insurance of the truck, if they have like a merchant insurance if something happens to that charge. So yeah, basically that's the documents. Okay, so first of all we need to verify okay, be cool, folks, in the comments. I can see some comments. Be cool. Just stay tuned for the project. That's it. Okay, so the documents, it's the ID we need to verify. In this case we need to verify the driver. That's, we need documents for that. in this case, we just need the user ID who's uploading the documents, the order ID. This is why do we need an order ID for a document? Okay, so basically this is for invoices. For example, when we send a charge, we need an invoice, we need a settlement document, we need some documents related to the order and the package, so we can see like what the package contains and all that stuff, and the insurance of the driver, the merchant insurance if something happens, if there's an accident and we need to recover our package's value, whatever. So this is why the documents are here. Geolocation, there's something that I deleted, but there was just this is for all the geolocation logic. Okay, if we need to create I don't know, let's say if we need to create the routes and all that stuff, this is the place where we need to create it. So the logs, basically this is oops, okay, I just got lost. Okay, no worries. Okay, so the outlet log basically is when we make a change in the database, or when we run an SQL query or something, we need the outlet log. Why? Because we need to see who made the changes if there's a problem. Okay, it's like more a history of the queries executed, let's say from the backend, from the API, or well, not the front end but the API. We run an SQL or something that just we got an error, a failure or something. We need to save this request, and then we have a database with a bunch of failed API requests, so we can know which endpoints are failing and having these issues, so we can just solve the problems on that endpoints. It's just like a way to get to save a register of all the endpoints and the problems they're having and who made the request, because maybe the request was made by someone, and I know. In the action here, we can save some information about the date, the action, the table name where the query was run, so we can know what problems we're having. Because if we have just one problem with a request on an endpoint, and then we don't get this failure anymore, maybe it's something temporal or a timeout or something. But if we keep getting the same error from the same endpoint, maybe there's a problem and we need to solve it ASAP. So that's why this outlet log, but it's just something to save errors. Now we have the orders. Okay, so here we come. Here we have the order. Okay, we have the order. Basically, it's the package that we want to send. Okay, I will ignore some comments. If you have any question, I'm reading the comments here, but please be nice to each other. There's no need to have this conversation right now, but okay, be cool. Okay, so we have the orders. Okay, now we need the order ID. We have the package ID. It's not the same thing, because probably we can have one order. Well, actually, this can be done. For example, this thing, you can refactor this structure, for example, this object, because we can have one order, but with different packages. Okay, so let's say we have order number 23, blah, blah, blah. And then we have package 1, and then we have package 2, and then we have package 3. So that's 3 different packages that from the same order that need to go from, let's say, Barcelona to India. Okay? Kolkata. I think it's written like this. Sorry if it's not well written, but yeah, Kolkata it's called. Okay, so in this case, okay, hi Mary. I came about 45 minutes late. Can you recap how what you're discussing is related to social impact? Okay, so quick recap, just a really quick recap. Basically, let me just present a screen, because I have the drawings the beautiful drawings in another screen. But basically, this is the project. Okay, it's basically a way to optimize routes from different distributors. For example, we have three companies. Okay, let's say names. Okay, this is Amazon, this is AliExpress, and this is Burger King. Let's say, and they want to send packages. So instead of sending like three trucks with, they just have 2 tons to send. Okay, 2 tons, like 2,000 kilograms, and they want to send them. And there's a truck that has the capacity for 7 tons. So it's basically a system to detect the these packages that going to countries or cities that are in the same route. So we can just stop here and then stop here and then stop here, and to optimize all the prices, the maintenance of the trucks, the toll price, the driver, everything. Okay. So basically, this is when I say distributor, I mean company. Okay. So this is the companies that are trying to distribute some materials, packages, everything. Basically, it's a way to optimize routes, costs, and all that stuff. Okay. Let's go back into the code. No worries. If you have any questions, just pop it. We will see later the database structure, so you will understand a little better. For social impact that you asked, this will be optimizing like the fuel, optimizing traffic, accidents. Let's say this can be an open source tool, and maybe the driver can get a better fee because it's making a 3 by 1 travel. So maybe they can pay an extra, and the driver can get an extra some extra money for the same trip because it's three different distributors and they it's taking more charges. So maybe if the truck is owned, that will be amazing. Let me check a couple of questions here. Okay, so Abhishek asks everyone, was there any events before this one where we were introduced to Go or we used to go in building stuff? Curious because my hat missed it. Yeah, I did one. It was, I think, 3 global hack weeks before this. It was an introduction. And then we made another one. It was for unit testing a little bit. But yeah, as I said before, it doesn't need to be in Go. So you can make changes in different languages, JavaScript, or maybe, I don't know, create some endpoints in Python or whatever, and then connect it. It's not a problem, the programming language. So yeah. You got it, cool. Okay, so okay, I see these comments. I will just ignore them for the moment because they're not related to this. Okay, so we have the orders. In this case, as I said, this can be reformatted because we can have an order with different packages. So we have this order number that goes from here to here, and there's 3 packages, and every package has its information, like what it contains, the value it has, everything for the insurance companies, for example, if something happens. Okay, so thank you, Shemari, for the comment. Yeah, as Shemari mentioned, everything is on YouTube. You can check them. If you need any help, you can just ask me on Discord, and I will try to help you as much as I can. If I can, we can just if you have any question, just ask me on Discord privately. This is my username, Nelfol79. Okay, so no worries. If you have any question, ask me. You can make changes in every language you want. It's up to you. So feel free. Okay, so we have the orders. Okay, I'm just showing a little bit the structure so you can understand how the project can work and how you can make changes. So this is the package. Okay, this is the package and structure, the object. This you can see here, type, struct, and all that stuff. You know, this is a method. This is basically in Golang. This is OOP, object oriented programming. So basically, if you have the object, the package, and this is how you declare like methods. This package has a type, so this is how you set the type of the package. Let's say it's maybe it's something medical, maybe it's liquid, maybe it's fragile or whatever. Uh, um, okay, so Abhishek, I think this was if you see a couple of global hack weeks before, couple of three. I think in YouTube they stay. Uh, you can search something like testing. Yeah, something like that, code test or testing code. You'll probably find it if they don't delete it. Because I think in Twitch there's a cycle that videos can are deleted after some time, but I think in YouTube they're still up. So yeah, basically we have the package, the ID of the package, the distribution ID, the origin, oops, uh, the destination, the type of package, as I mentioned, the estimated value. This is basically for the insurance. Let's say you have a package that it costs maybe, I don't know, 25,000 euros or whatever. So you just need to say, okay, this is all the invoices, and this package costs 25,000. So if something happens to the package and it gets lost or whatever, the merchant insurance from the driver or the truck or the company needs to pay it. So this is why the documents were introduced. So you have maybe the document, the order ID. You can add the order ID of the package, the document type. You can say it's an invoice, an insurance, or whatever. So this is why this is field. You can add as many fields as you think it will help. So yeah, now we have the dimensions. Okay, this is just the dimensions. You have the height, the width, and all that stuff. Is EU palette? Okay, this is a standard palette. This is why it's used is because if you define this to true, what it does, it the dimensions it's 120 by 80. This is a standard. Okay, this is the width and the depth. Can you hear me now? I think the battery was dead in the other uh, headphone. So if you can hear me, just give a thumbs up so I can continue. Okay, so basically, this is yes, we can. Okay, thank you so much. So it's accepted basically once you publish a package. Let's say I'm a distributor. I publish a package. If a driver accepts that package or to the route, basically we get a true value, and that's it. Okay, it's complete. Is when you once you get a completed order, and that's it. So here we have all these different methods. They're quite simple. It's basically to set the origin and all that stuff. If we go to the main, let me go to the main file. I'll show you how this would work. Let me see, because I have an example here that I saved before for you, so you can see how this can be applied. Okay, this one. Okay, it'll be this one, for example. For example, how we can register a new user. It will be something like this. Okay, we have user, and then we have new user method. It's related to the user. Okay, it's here, and then for the user we have the user ID, the name, the email, the phone, the address, everything, all. And these set methods are basically this. Okay, set username. In Golang is they're used like in C sharp. I think C sharp is the same. So it's concatenated. Okay, so you said set user is verified, and this will set the true. So once you get the user verified, you can set this field to true. Oops, sorry. And set username, set user email, phone. the home address, everything. Uh, is this a lesson about building an open source invoice generator with React? No, it's not this one. Probably, I think check if there it was done. If not, you can um, check on. This is the open source social impact project. Good luck, Gazangwa. Hope you find it. So here we define the user and all this information, the password, and then user that set documents. And here we can add different documents, like for example the ID of the user, the residence address, or whatever we need to verify. So this is how it will be set the structure. And this is the user methods. This is some user methods. So we have the some different information, and this is an array slice, it's called here, of the property document. Okay, so oops, yeah, here are some really basic methods to validate if the username is empty, whatever. Okay, so I think it's quite understandable. And here we have the transporter. The transporter will basically have an ID, a user ID, so it will be related to the user ID. And in the user ID, well, in the user object, we have all the rest of the information. Okay. Now, once I show you the database structure, you will understand why is just this information here in the vehicle. And here we have the vehicle of the transporter. It's another. Okay, thank you, Skiddy, for the comment and the context. So okay, for the vehicle, the same. We have the object and we have the vehicle ID. We have the transporter ID that has this vehicle, and we have the license plate number. We have the brand and the model and the capacity. Okay, so why the brand model is important and the license plate, for example. In this case, let's say we have three trucks, okay, and if we know the model, the year, the engine it has, everything, we can calculate how much fuel it will consume. So if we have four trucks, for example, we with all this information, we can calculate how much fuel it will consume each one of them, and how much maintenance they need. So we can just take the truck that has that has less maintenance, less fuel consumption, less everything, so we can optimize a little bit. Because as you know, trucks consume a lot of fuel, and maybe a difference of a 10%, maybe it's savings of $300 or euros or whatever. So that's a really important information. So why that's why there's some we can get some information then to calculate the routes that each truck can take and optimize the price of the fuel and maintenance and all that stuff. So yeah, this is uh yeah, Stevie, thank you. So that's why I added some of this information. There's actually, I think, at least in Spain, there's some websites that with a license plate you can get all this information. So you just need the license plate of the driver. But if not, you can just ask the brand, the model, and the capacity. So you can calculate a lot of different things and then to optimize some stuff. So here we have another some basic methods to set capacity and all that stuff. It's the same as user. I will just leave this example here so you can see it. You declare, sorry, it was the main. So we have a new user declared. Okay, this is the basic one. So we can create a new user, and then we set all these different types. And when if we log this, we'll just get the validation. Okay, so as you can see here, if I just run this, probably okay, how it's running Go? It's Go build, or you can just click Go run main.go. Okay, and here we have all the information from the new user. We have the ID, the name, the email, the home, the documents name, whatever. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, this is an overview. Let's see. We have some minutes left. Do you have any questions? Okay. Um, in Europe, there are strict emission standards. All diesels have to be Euro 6 design. Yeah, this is important. But for this case, let me say that it depends on the route, because if your trucks cannot go into the cities, like the center of the city, and a lot of these emission restrictions are just in the center of the city. For example, in Barcelona, there is this restriction: you cannot go with a, like, I don't know, a really old car into the city. But there's some trucks that are old and they don't have this emission standard. They can go to the factories, because the factories are not in the center of the city, are just outside of the city, and there is just this limit. Probably they will change it in the future, and all the trucks must be all these Euro standard emissions thing. But for the moment, in once just the trucks usually don't go to the into the center of the city. They just go, like 5-6 kilometers away around the city. So yeah, how to run the project basically. uh Once you have all these, let me push these changes. Okay, git add, so you can get saving changes. Okay, git push. Okay, so now if I let me just present you the other screen. Let me just present you the other screen so you can see how I push the changes. So you can just git pull them, git pull the changes, and we'll get them. Okay, let's get this out. Okay, so now I have the project. I have this branch that I was working on. It's called Futures Dev Compare and Pull Request. Okay, I have these different changes. Oh, okay. Okay. So I just deleted this because I didn't need it. I did some refactoring, and I added the this user's example here, so you can check it. Create pull request. Change it for. Okay. So resolve this branch as conflict will be resolved. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, okay. Okay. Probably. Let me see. Git pull. Git merge. Main. Let me see the conflict that I have here. Uh, move. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Now I can. Uh, okay. Now I can. Because there was a conflict. There was a file. Okay. So now if you let me check if the main branch has changes. Okay, 2 minutes ago. So that means that you can git pull. Try to git pull, and you will get this example in the main file. Okay. So on the once you are on the command line, sorry, command. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Once you are here, uh, okay. I don't know if using Visual Studio, but let's say you're using it, the same ID. You just hit go run main.go. Okay. So this is the command. Go run main.go. That's the file. So if then it's an API, we can create here the requests and all that stuff. So yeah, and then we can just use Postman or whatever to make the request. But for this example, go run main.go, user validated correctly. So for example, if I don't put a name to the user, okay, and then I click. Okay, so I have an error that says name is required. Okay, so that's because there's this validate, and it checks if the name is empty, everything is set. If everything is set, uh, If there's some errors, it will just say uh, the kind of errors that you have, and so you can solve them. Okay, so this is basically how you run it. It's really simple. Once you get Go installed and all that stuff, it's quite easy. If you have any other question after the stream, don't hesitate to ask me on Discord. I will be happy to help. There's some people that wrote me yesterday, for example, and I'm really happy to help. So no problem with that. Okay, so the database, one of the most important things. All these queries, I just left them on the project. If you go to the project, okay, let me show you the. Sorry for the okay window. Okay, because this is really important. Yeah, go run main.go. Yeah, that's simple. Okay, so the database. Okay, I just left all the database configuration here. Do you see new database tables? This is all the tables you need. For example, at least for this example, once you want to create a database. Okay, this is the here you can find the diagram. Well, this is basically if you want to use it in a diagram or want to see it. Like I will show you next. Share screen, window. Let me see. Okay, so this is the database. Okay, this is the database. We have the distributor. Okay, and the distributor has a primary key. It's called distributor ID, and this ID will be used then to be assigned to packages. For example, we have orders. The orders will be assigned to package. As I told you before, there can be 5 packages with the same order ID. So this is the wow. Okay, I hope it worked for you. So yeah, if you got some results, that means that it worked. So that's simple it is. So start making changes and create pull request, and I will just check. Okay, so this is the structure of the database. Can you see it? Let me make it a little bit bigger. I think we can rearrange this auto range. Let's do it. Okay. So we have this distributor ID that we will be using to create the packages. Because why it's done like this, I already did SQL track in the, I think it was in a couple of global hack weeks before. It was it's called Introduction to SQL. It was 3 parts, and I was explaining why these primary keys, for example, exist and all that stuff. So this is basically because if we don't use a primary key, in this case, for every package, we need to put all the order, the same order, like for 5 packages. Imagine we have 5 packages with the same order. We don't want to put like all this information 5 times, you know. So we just use the order ID that it's related to. This is the primary key for this table and all this information. So that's simple. So this is the audit log. This is, doesn't have any connection because it was just a register for the logs of the queries and the errors we had and everything. Okay, we have 3 minutes left. I will try to explain it as much as I can. So yeah, basically this is the database. I learned more SQL from you than in my college course. You're amazing. Thank you so much, Shamari, for the comments. Okay, uh, this diagram, yeah, it's called. I will share it if you want to use it for your personal project. I use it quite a lot because it's really good to work with, and you can just take this and make connections. It's quite visual. So yeah, and then we have the transporter. Okay, so the information for the transporter we need is the transporter ID. Okay, so the transporter ID will be used for the orders. So if you have an order that from some packages that need to go from one city to another, so we can just use the transporter ID and the transporter ID. We have the transporter ID and the user ID. And the user ID, here we have the users. And with the user ID, we can get all this information. And the same with the tracking number. Okay, for example, it's not implemented in the code, but it can be implemented. So once we have the order, we need tracking ID and the order ID, so we can keep updating the latitude and the longitude for all these packages and all this route information. So basically, all this information, if you copy the diagram information from the code that I shared you, and you just paste it here, you can see all these diagrams. So feel free. Okay, so you just need this is in the code. It's called a new diagram database or something like that. So yeah. Unfortunately, I'm running out of time. Uh, I already covered what I wanted to, so I'm happy. Sorry for the voice. I'm quite. I'm a little bit not sick, but my okay. Uh, Never mind. Okay, so yeah, basically this is it. I think there's someone coming, so I'll try not to take so much time. Thank you so much, and yeah, hope to see you on the next stream. Your yeah, it's been a couple of hours. So okay, thank you so much. I will just leave the stream and let somebody else. I think there's someone coming now. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to write to me on Discord. Feel free, completely free. If you have any question with your project, everything, just ask me. And you have my you have my GitHub profile, so you can take this project and make some contributions to it. Okay, I will just leave the link here. Feel free and have fun. Muchas gracias y cuídense. Take care. Okay, muchas gracias. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.